A leader of the resistance and the captain of the Nebuchadnezzar, Morpheus is one of the most important characters in the Matrix universe, a strong believer in the One's prophecy. But sadly, like many other characters, Morpheus may have been fooled by the machines, manipulated into being a part of the Oracle and the Architect's game of control. Could it be that Morpheus played a role that was assigned to him by the machines? Was he a puppet of the same system he fought against all his life? Let's take a look at the tragic story of Morpheus. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Before we begin today's video, we would like to announce our giveaway for the Matrix Movies Complete Collection on Blu-ray, which includes The Matrix, Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions, and The Animatrix. All you have to do to participate is subscribe to this channel, leave a like on this video, and tell us in the comment section below which pill would you choose, the red or the blue, and why. The winner will be announced on September 15th. Good luck and enjoy today's video. Morpheus' story begins at an early age. Like most red pills, he was liberated when he was just a child. During his time in Zion, he enjoyed telling stories about ancient red pills. Over time, he developed his skills as both an orator and a leader. Later, he was promoted to captain of a ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. He became an infamous cybercriminal inside the Matrix, a rebel that fought against the system by exposing the truth to those trapped inside. Convinced he had the upper hand in his efforts as a freedom fighter against the Matrix, but the system already had plans for him. Nobody knows when the first resistance member made contact with the Oracle, but among those, Morpheus was her most devout believer. He was borderline obsessed in finding the One.
You see, you may have spent the last few years looking for me, but I've spent my entire life looking for you.
The story about humanity's savior comes from two different sources, the Zion archives and the Oracle herself. And according to the Oracle, she had predicted the return of the One.
After he died, the Oracle prophesied his return, and that his coming would hail the destruction of the Matrix, end the war, bring freedom to our people.
Morpheus has spent his life looking for that savior, and in the sequels, we can see how his beliefs have distanced him from certain people of Zion that had a more logical approach to things. At the time, Morpheus had the semblance of a religious zealot, and because of this, he was ignored by many of his peers. It seemed that he was radicalized by the machines, having a magical, religious-like belief about a savior installed in him, all so he can fulfill the purpose they had set for him. So why did Morpheus have such blind faith in the Oracle? The answer is simple. Morpheus knew that humans didn't have a real path to victory. He implies this when he describes the agents as lethal programs that no red pill who has ever fought against one has survived. Still, he has great hopes about Neo, the possible one that could defeat the machines and end the war.
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
We don't know how many red pills have lost their lives at the hands of the agents, but we can assume that all those deaths affected Morpheus psychologically. Morpheus was tired of running, and deep down inside, he knew that they needed some superpower intervention if they were going to win. If they couldn't defeat one agent, then how can they expect to destroy the entire Matrix?
We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers. They are guarding all the doors, they are holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
And there is where the Oracle used her most powerful weapon to disable him. It was a weapon that acted as a veil to prevent him from seeing the truth. The truth that he had been manipulated by the Oracle, and the weapon that clouded his judgment was hope. In order to keep him in check, Morpheus had to believe that the One was real. Without that drive for victory, he wouldn't be such an easy prey for suggestion. As the architect once said,
"Hope. It is the quintessential human delusion, simultaneously the source of your greatest strength and your greatest weakness."
Hope was Morpheus' greatest weakness. because it prevented him from questioning the words of the Oracle. It kept him on the path to accomplish the architect's plan. An overwhelming fear of the agents, living in a precarious condition in Zion, and the initial lack of hope led a great leader like Morpheus straight into the clutches of the most powerful program in the Matrix. His beliefs drove him to sacrifice himself in order to save Neo, a sacrifice that was just part of the Oracle's plan. After the architect spoke about the inevitable destruction of Zion, Neo reveals to Morpheus that the prophecy was a lie, and that the One was just another system of control.
I don't understand it. Everything was done as it was supposed to be done. Once the One reaches the source, the war should be over.
It was a lie, Morpheus. The prophecy was a lie. The One was never meant to end anything. It was all another system of control.
I don't believe that.
But you said it yourself. How can the prophecy be true if the war isn't over? I'm sorry. I know it isn't easy to hear, but I swear to you it's the truth.
The roles have been reversed in this scene, as Morpheus is the one that the truth is being revealed to. This is where we finally understand Morpheus' secret. The name Morpheus comes from Greek mythology. He is known as the god of dreams. He is responsible for inducing sleep and creating dreams for humans. In this mythology, Morpheus is not a being that brings truth, but a god that traps humans in the world of dreams and prophecies. When Morpheus liberates a blue pill, he isn't really freeing that person from the Matrix. He is inducing the blue pill into another dream, one full of conflict against the tyrannical system of control and the hopes for the arrival of the savior. Even though it's just another illusion created by the machines to ensure the destruction of Zion. Ironically, while Morpheus dedicates himself to waking up others, he is still asleep, placed under a spell by the machines. Morpheus believes that he is saving people, yet he is only leading them to another delusion. As time passes, this character goes from being a firm believer to becoming disillusioned. In the original Matrix movie, Morpheus is the one that explains what is real and what is not. He stresses this to Neo countless times, about the perception of reality versus what reality actually is.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
In Matrix Revolutions, however, he is the one who asks another person, Niobe, if everything that is happening is actually real. Morpheus' doubts at the end of the film are reflected in the scene when he hugs Niobe, hoping to find something to believe in. He asks her if it's real. She nods, and he reaches out for her, trying to feel something to make him believe it, and finding it in her embrace. This scene where Morpheus questions reality isn't a coincidence. This shows that his beliefs were no longer immune to questioning anymore, so he is not sure if he lives in the truth or if he's still part of the lie. He is not the same Morpheus who leads people into believing.
You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
He is a broken man that may have come to understand that he has been used by the machines, a man that doesn't know what to believe in anymore. In retrospect, we could understand that Morpheus was just another pawn on the machine's chessboard. He had good intentions, but his own fear and hopelessness turned him into an easy prey for the control system that encroached his mind. There's still hope for redemption for this character. That is, if he's still alive. We may one day see a future Morpheus becoming a real freedom fighter, posing a true threat to the machines, as opposed to being a tool for the Oracle. But do you agree? What do you think about Morpheus' tragic story? Was he the most clueless and gullible character in the Matrix? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.